বল্লভ জয় গিরিবরধারী, জয় গিরিবরধারী, জয় গোপীজন বল্লভ জয় গিরিবরধারী, জয় গিরিবরধারী, জয় রাধা মাধব জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী, জয় গোপীজন বল্লভ জয় গিরিবরধারী, জয় গিরিবরধারী, জয় যশোদানন্দন জয় ব্রজজন রঞ্জন, জয় ব্রজজন রঞ্জন, জয় যশোদা নন্দন জয় ব্রজজন রঞ্জন, জয় ব্রজজন রঞ্জন, জয় যমুনা তীরবনচারী, জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী, জয় যমুনা তীরবনচারী, জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী, জয় রাধা মাধব জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী। হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে, হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে, হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে, হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে, হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে, হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম রাম হরে হরে, হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম রাম হরে হরে, হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে, হরে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Sri Radhe Jaya Laddu Gopal Laddu Gopal Laddu Gopal Jaya Laddu Gopal Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Sri Radhe Jaya Radha Sham Sundar Radha Sham Sundar Radha Sham Sundar Sri Radhe Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe Jaya Panchatata 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 Jaya Panchatata Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Jaya Sargoswami 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 Jaya Sargoswami Jaya Guru Parampara Jaya Guru Parampara Guru Parampara Jaya Guru Parampara Jaya 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 Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev जय श्री प्रभुपाद की श्रील गुरुदेव की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की पंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna, Dandavad Pranam Prabhuji and Mataji. Thank you very much for joining today's WebEx meeting. We are very fortunate to have His Grace Omkar Prabhuji, who is going to give the Bhagavad Gita class. After a very long time, we are going to hear from him. So he is a senior disciple of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Swami Maharaj. So I'll just connect to him. So please hear the Bhagavad Gita class. Very good. Thank you very much. I'll just connect Omkar Prabhu. You can show your video, audio. Very good. Thank you very much.
Okay, that one, right? Hear me?
We can
I'm not able to hear you, Prabhu. Just yeah, sure, sure.
So every. Okay, probably it's working, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Should I start, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna?
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. We will start with the prayers. Om Gyana Paramadhasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshuritmulutmayana Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manabhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutle Swamrupa Kadamaya Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yatpatkabulam Shri Guru Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sagrayatam Saguna Raghunatam Dvitantam Sanjeevam Sadhvetam Sadhvetam Pratijanash Saityam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saguna Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitanscha He Krishna Karna Sindhu Deenbandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radhakam Namastate Taptakanchan Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwanusute Devi Pranami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatrubhasya Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavunebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So we will be reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, Shloka 2.28. We will try that, and if we are, say, we have time, then we can go on 2.29 and 2.30. So I believe we have 1 hour, right? Okay, Prabhuji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Avyaktani Dini Bhutani Vyaktamadhyani Bharata Avyakta Nidhanyam Eva Tatrika Paridevana. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada. All created beings are unmanifested in their beginning, manifest in the interim stage, and unmanifest again when annihilated. So what need is there for lamentation? Purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. Accepting that there are two classes of philosophers, one believing in the existence of the soul and the other not believing in the existence of the soul, there is no cause for lamentation in either case. Non-believers in the existence of the soul are called atheists by followers of Vedic wisdom. Yet, even if for argument's sake we accept this atheistic theory, there is still no cause for lamentation. Apart from separate existence of the soul, the material elements remains unmanifested before creation. From this subtle state of non-manifestation comes manifestation. Just as from ether, air is generated, and from air, fire is generated, and from fire, water is generated, and from water, earth becomes manifested. From the earth, many varieties of manifestations take place. Take, for example, a big skyscraper manifested from the earth. When it is dismantled, the manifestation becomes again unmanifested and remains as atoms in the ultimate stage. The law of conservation of energy remains, but in course of time, things are manifested and unmanifested. That is the difference. Then what cause is there for lamentation either in this stage of manifestation or unmanifestation? Somehow or other, even in unmanifested stage, things are not lost. Both at the beginning and at the end, all any elements remain unmanifested. And only in the middle they are manifested, and thus not make any material difference. And if we accept the Vedic conclusion as stated in Bhagavad Gita, that these material bodies are perishable in due course of time, but then the soul is eternal, Nityayukta Shrina, then we must remember always that the body is like a dress. Therefore, why lament the changing of the dress? The material body has no factual existence in relation to the eternal soul. It is something like a dream. In a dream, we may think of flying in the sky or sitting on a chariot as a king. But when we wake up, we can see that we are neither in the sky nor seated in the chariot. The Vedic wisdom encourages self-realization on the basis of non-existence of the material body. Therefore, in either case, whether one believes in the existence of the soul or one doesn't believe in the existence of the soul, there is no cause for lamentation for the loss of the body. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada Ji ki jai. So now in this shloka, Srila Prabhupada is talking about the material body. Now, material body has temporary existence in the material world. We know that, and that's what this verse is about. But the soul is eternal. So there is no cause for lamentation because soul will remain if even the body is destroyed. So there is no cause for lamentation. Some people believe in the existence of soul and some don't. And those who don't believe that there is no soul, everything is void in the beginning, and so everything is void in the middle, and then everything is void in the end, and in the middle, the manifestation is there. So then again, it is void. So void is void. Then where is the lamentation? So this is the argument Krishna is giving. Both ways you cannot lament, So other thing is if you have a bunch of chemicals, so like if somebody creates life in the lab, for example, by mixing certain chemicals, and so he creates something and then in the end it is destroyed. So basically these were a bunch of chemicals which he put it in the lab, and then in the end these chemicals are drained in the drain. So what's the lamentation? So basically what Krishna is saying, we shouldn't lament for the body, And Srila Prabhupada Ji gave another example of the big skyscraper, manifested from the earth. I mean, there were all these elements which like earth, water, bricks and mortar and all that, So one made these big skyscrapers, and after the use of it, so it came into full manifestation as the building, and then after some time or long time, it's destroyed and merges into material elements, So Srila Prabhupada is saying, so what's the cause of lamentation in this stage of manifestation or unmanifestation? So that's what is about the body. Now Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 2.18, Antavatu imedeha. So the material body is indestructible. So material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living entity is for sure to come to an end. So therefore fight, O descendant of Bharata. So the material body is destructible, so is perishable. Ant vanta, I mean, so that it's perishable. And in due course of time, its embodied soul is eternal. So then we must remember always that body is like a dress. So therefore, why lament for the changing of the dress? Like spiritual advancement means when you know who you are and what what's the identification of yourself, who am I, kind of thing. Like just, I mean, even Sanatana Goswami, when he went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu after retiring from his ministership, so he actually went there and asked, okay, I don't know who I am and why I'm subjected to so many material conditions of life. Sometimes I sleep and I dream, when then I get another body and I see in the dream that I'm falling from a mountain, and then I'm very, very afraid. So what is it? What body I am? Is it a dream body, or is it the this body I have? So what is it? So which body I belong to? Actually, the answer is that you don't belong to any of these bodies. You have separate existence in the body as spirit soul. But since we are associated with the body, so we think this is my body, and under certain conditions, in some country I'm born, in some family I'm born, and this is my nation. Therefore, in the bodily concept of life, I'm living, and whatever I'm identifying is in relationship with this body, either my family or my country or my society or my other relationship. But they are false because body is false. Like in material life, we don't feel that, but that's how it is. I mean, a advanced devotees knows that we are not this body. Now, body is subjected to three modes of material nature, and like it might be mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance. And according to these three modes of material nature, different classes of living being are seeking different kind of pleasure in this material life, because we want to enjoy all the time, and that's the one of the aspects of the soul that they want to be enjoying. Like people are enjoying in the mode of ignorance, also in the mode of passion they're enjoying, and in the mode of goodness also they're enjoying. In the mode of ignorance, they are seeking pleasure, like intoxication. So intoxication, they feel very high, and they feel they're enjoying their life, and or they're sleeping, having dreams, etc. And some people do violent acts, cruel acts, and they enjoy like that, like Mirgrari, I mean, the hunter, he was enjoying by killing animals, uh, not killing, but making them half dead, so that they are not dead and they are not alive, but they're suffering so much. And he used to be very, very happy when some of these animals were half dead, and they were trying to uh, gain their life back. So there are all kinds of people, especially in the mode of ignorance, when we are intoxicated, when we don't know the scriptures, when we do nonsensical things, we think or that we are enjoying, but this is not enjoyment. So one has to be very careful. This body, which is under the modes of material nature, that how we behave and what one should know, what gunas we are under, what we are doing, and for every action there is reaction. There's no doubt about that. That's Krishna's law. Like Newton's law is there. For every action there is equal and opposite reaction. So similarly in Krishna's law, that every action we perform is regarded as a karma. And according to karma, you are given next body or next suffering or next happiness. So we have to be very, very careful that how we are living with this body, which is temporary. The funny thing is it's still temporary, but since it's a long life, I mean, we are born and then we are raised and all this almost 80 years, 90 years, 100 years as the life might be, but we identify so much that's that's life is about. And in the mode of passion, people also are seeking pleasures through what they might do is that they might amass a lot of wealth, and through wealth they have conveniences, and through that they're enjoying big enjoyment, and they think they're enjoying very temporary happiness. They will have big ceremonies. They accumulate lots of material wealth, prestige. They indulge in sensual activities. They watch movies or have lavish foods or lavish possessions, big house, big parties. They want to be Ishvara. I mean, they want to control their situation. They want to have prestige, what they call, with their ego, and they want to enjoy beautiful women, and then they are eating, I mean, all kinds of stuff, and having somewhat intoxication. And still, sometimes they are not satisfied. And if they are not satisfied, they will do all more nonsensical thing, So this is, if they're satisfied, they will keep on doing this thing. And if they're not satisfied, they either will indulge in the mode of ignorance, and they might get into intoxication and things like that. And then ultimately, if they're really frustrated, if they cannot get what they want, so they even create suicide. I mean, this recently happened. I mean, there was this film actor, Sushant, some Rajput or whatever. I mean, so recently he died, and because he wasn't getting any film contracts or whatever, he got some film contracts, and then those 5-6 film contracts didn't materialize for whatever reason, and then he got into depression and finally into taking his own life, suicide. So in spite of the fact he had a couple of crores of rupees, it's not that he didn't have the money. He did have the money, but still, because mental condition is such that you want to enjoy what you find happiness in. And if that happiness you can't satisfy, then you get into mode of passion, but to the mode of passion to extreme degree, when you're dejected, then sometimes you create suicide. Or you might go to some demigods for worship and to get the same activity. So one might go to some tantric or some demigod to get the same result, ultimately to enjoy himself. So I mean, one can be enjoying this way, but then there are people in the mode of goodness, they also enjoy. I mean, they want to be famous also, but by doing what? I mean, they do pious activities. So they are good at doing pious activities. They worship demigods, and they pray for more wealth. But the only difference is they utilize that money in terms of either charity or some building some hospitals or helping some poor people and helping others uplift the society and things like that. And that way they're they are also enjoying, but they are helping the society. And they know very well that after doing all these pious activities, they will get some spiritual credit or some positive credits so that they can again come back. I mean, if they understand the life cycle of karma, if you come back, then you might be situated in a good situation. So indirectly, they are also enjoying that. So all these pleasures, I mean, either in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance, are to satisfy our senses and desires. And this is to do with our material body, our senses, not the spiritual soul. So it has nothing to do with your spiritual soul. So actually, when we are enjoying all this, we get covering, So those coverings are where we get associated deeply with our body, So in short, one has to be Krishna conscious. I mean, there is no other possibility of peace. So we must control our mind in such a way so that it's focused on in the service of Krishna. But Krishna also says, Aham bija pratapita, like I'm the seed-giving father. And now, father wants his children to be happy, not unhappy, So he wants to see us happy. Not only that, he wants us to come back to him, In Bhagavad Gita, I mean, Krishna does come to this material world just to give us the rules and regulations, So he does say in Bhagavad Gita in 4.7, Yada yada hi dharmasya, glanir bhavati bharta abhitam adharmasya, tadatmanam srjahayam, prityanam sadhunam, vinashaya cha duskritam, dharm samstha apanarthaya sambhavani yuge yuge. So he is coming here to establish dharma, dharm samsthapanarthaya sambhavani yuge yuge. But for him, the first priority is to Prityanaya sadhunam, to deliver the pious. I mean, that's his first activity, not to kill or whatever. And then second priority is to annihilate the miscreants. And then he wants to reestablish the principles of religion, And for that, he sets all these religious principles. And for that, he comes again and again every millennium, because these rules and regulations, principles of religions are either polluted or they're forgotten or people misuse them so he establishes them again and again, So this is, Krishna is always wanting us as child to come back and to do the right things. So he's telling us that how to do it, I mean, the Father, as Father, he is a great concern for us that we should be peaceful and happiness. And in the end, I mean, he wants we all to come home. Like if we are father of somebody, if we want kids to enjoy, but ultimately we want them to be coming home, not doing any nonsensical thing, But in spite of all this religion he establishes, like Krishna says in 4.7 that he establishes that religion. But funny thing is that in the end of Bhagavad Gita, what he says, Sarv Dharman Pratijaya. I mean, here he came to establish the religion. Now he is telling us in the end of Bhagavad Gita, Sarv Dharman Pratijaya, Mam Ekam Sharanam Vaja, Aham Tam Sarpape Vyo Mokshayasmi Masucha. And he's telling us, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. And I will deliver you from all sinful reaction. Don't fear. I mean, he's telling us one time that, okay, that I will establish dharma, and then he telling us, well, now you give it up and come to me. But here, Krishna is talking of different dharma. It's called Ketiv dharma. Ketiv dharma means dharma which is done with the view of sense and desire satisfaction. So basically, I mean, dharmas are of two kinds. One is based on the bodily concept, as we are saying that we are material body. So this dharma which is establishing here is based on the bodily concept, and now other dharma is based on what? Your soul concept. So we have to understand the dharma based on the soul concept, not on the body of on bodily concept, because that's what Krishna. That's why he rejected it in the end. Okay, Sarvdharman Pratyajaya, because it's related with our bodily concept. So basically, like dharma is to the what I call is Keto dharma, which means doing business with the lords, mostly demigods. People go there and they want to do some activity, pious activities, to get some good results for gaining money or wife or whatever, any physical desires they might have. And after that, what they do, if they got money and everything, so then they will get engaged into artha. Artha means economic development. They will be in, okay, now you got some money. So dharma was there to, they're doing pious activities, and whatever their desire is fulfilled. Now immediately they get into economic development because now they have lots of money, and then they spend in various ways, and they get derailed from actual dharma or pious dharma. They get into all kinds of mode of passion, ignorance, all that, And then if they do that, then they're degrading themselves. So if you don't understand that what dharma was for, you can be getting bewildered, So that's why Krishna is saying that this dharma, sarvdharma pratyaya, that's why he's saying, And if you have done all this economic development, made money and all that, and then you are very opulent, then what happens? Greed sets in. So then you want kama. Kama means you want some kind of sense gratification. If you have this much money, you want to enjoy, you want to go on holidays, you want to do some other nonsensical activities if you are in the mode of ignorance or even mode of passion. You become a politician, you bribe someone, you steal something, only because all for your sense gratification. So karma is not very good. And then even karma, you're successful, still you will get frustrated. Like this guy commits suicide. Like for example, I was giving this big star, movie star, and so you get frustrated. So even after that, and some people get frustrated, they commit suicide. But people who are in the mode of goodness, they are trying to attain moksha, so liberation from this material bondage. So they are trying hard through meditation or through some other means to get this moksha, which we know is also temporary based on the bodily concept. Because when you're on bodily concept, all your thinking process on bodily concept and on bodily dharma is always like you are always will be defeated. Excuse me. So anyhow, we have to understand that that our heart has to be clean, because this is a heart, because of desire, it accumulates the dirt. And dirt is not like a dirt, we see it, okay, oh, I wipe it out by hand. No. This dirt is the one which is because of our anarthas, because of our desires, because of our karma. And so this dirt, what we have to clean, we have to detach. That's why Lord is saying, Sarv dharman pratityaja, mamekam sharanam vaja, tam sarpapebhyo mokshasmi masucha. And not only that, like if you start Bhagavatam, even Bhagavatam rejects this kind of dharma, Keta dharma. He rejects. And in the very beginning, Krishna says that give up all these Keta dharma. So anyhow, see, this heart of ourself or mind, when it gets polluted, I mean, mostly we accumulate dirt, and the main dirt we accumulate is the lust, and that's what Krishna says later on. This lust is very dangerous, So, so lust means we want to enjoy. Enjoy means in a good manner, bad manner, whatever attachment, So this lust is very, very bad, And if this lust is not satisfied, then we get into another mode. And that mode is that we get angry, So if a thief wants to do steal, because he has lust for some diamond necklace or whatever, so he plans it very nicely. Okay, I will go and steal this thing, because he is lusty after that material thing or diamond, gold, whatever it is, So, and he plans it very nicely. Okay, and not only that, he knows that he may be caught. He knows in his heart, but somehow his desire is so strong that whatever positive thinking he's doing, in fact, that positive thinking is coming from Paramatma. See, Lord is sitting in your heart, and Lord is always directing you from within the heart that don't do any nonsensical thing. But sometimes we are bent upon doing nonsensical thing because that's how our mentality is. Now, our mentality has been there for billions and billions of years. So, what to talk about this life, like our life is like what should I say? Like we are like CD. Now, CD means this computer CD, they are impressions, They are impressions from past life. Not only that, past life from before life. So there are millions of imprints, on our consciousness and or subtle mind, we can say. So this subtle mind is covered with lot of impressions from millions and millions of births. And when we have enjoyed and the chapter is closed, some of the impressions are taken away or are or our desires are fulfilled, they are wiped out. But some of the impressions are coming from past life, and we come with those impressions in this life. And because of that, some of our habits are formed, and some habits are difficult to give up. And that's what this whole process of spiritual prayers, service, devotional service is about. And we are lusty. So there will be deeper impressions on our this CD, you know. So we have to make sure that our CD is cleaned of all these anarthas, you know. So if our lust is not satisfied for whatever reason, so we become angry, you know. So if I couldn't steal anything or whatever, then I become very frustrated, and then I want to steal again, or even if I go to jail, still I'm very angry. And then when I come out, then I do the same nonsensical thing again, because my desire is so strong. I'm not listening to Paramatma within me. I mean, that's happens, you know. And if my lust is satisfied for whatever reason, you know, I'm able to steal that diamond or money I am able to steal, then my next plan is to make even bigger kill, you know, in a way that I want to steal more money. I want to steal bigger diamond. So basically greed sets in. So if you are successful in satisfying your lust, that's not very good either. See, if you don't satisfy it, you're getting angry, which means you're also abusing somebody in your vicinity. You know? But if your lust is satisfied, then it's bad either, because you develop greed. Greed means you do the same nonsensical activity again and again. So that's why Krishna is saying, control your lust first. You know? And then when you greed, you have so much money and all that, then you're in illusion, oh, I can do anything, I can do this, I can do it. You're the master of everything. And then comes the madhya. So you become pride. So you're very proud of your wealth, of your possessions, or whatever you might have accumulated. And then with that also comes Matsarya, which means, I mean, you are also envious because you want to be in number one position. You don't want to be number two. Because if your wealth, I mean, there are many, I mean, this, like the star, film star, I mean, he was upcoming star. That doesn't mean that he was on top of it. But still, one star is angry with the other star. Because there is envy. I mean, he has made 10 million, so I have to make 20 and all that. Envious things go in. And all these are, what are these? All these are dirt. I call it dirt. You know. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Madha, Matsya. Lust, anger, greed, illusion, pride, and envy. What are these? These are the dirt in our consciousness on the covering of our subtle body, like false ego, I mean, and all these 6 enemies in our heart. So in material world, there is always competition. You know? So, but the devotees want to transcend all these 6 enemies in the heart, and they want to be free of all these 6, what you call, the anarthas or enemies in your heart. And how to control these, you know, that's the main thing. You know. How to control these. Cheto Darpan Marjan, that's one way. Main thing is Krishna says, if you control the lust somehow, if you can control the lust, then you can control anger, and automatically greed will be, I mean, taken care of, and your illusion will be gone, your pride will be gone, and your envy will be gone. So main thing is the lust. Lust is the main enemy of a living being. So one has to make sure that if we are in this material body, which is temporary, and which Krishna is saying, well, yeah, that it's first it's unmanifested, then it's manifested, then it's unmanifested. Why you are crying over it? But since we are living in this world and this 100 years, it's difficult, to process what Krishna is saying. But Arjuna can process it very fast because he's the devotee, he's the surrendered soul. He accepts this and understands this immediately and follows Krishna's instructions immediately, and he makes him guru. So that's what it is. In material world, there are many other things. I mean, there are miseries. Besides whatever we create our own miseries, there. I mean, are the devic miseries. There are the bhotic miseries, and then there are atmic miseries. I mean, that's besides. I mean, what we do to our body, and then there are these miseries which are not under our control. So this in material life, getting this material body is very, very, what you call, it's not good. So we should try to get out. I mean, this material body, if we get it, which means we can get into this big cycle. I mean, Krishna is saying in next verse, and also even before, he has said we are spirit soul, Jiva Sarup Hoy Nitya Krishna Das. We are fish out of water. So how can we be happy like in this material world, and if we are not serving the needs of the soul? So basically what we are trying to do is serving the needs of the body. So that's so how we can be peaceful in that respect. So main thing is, if we want to be peaceful, it's very simple. And if we want to get out of this material world, first we have to understand Krishna is a beneficiary of all human activities. Bhoktaram yagna tapsam sarvalokam yeshvam suhridayam sarvabhutanam gyantamam shanti mashti. A person who is fully Krishna conscious, I mean, and he knows that Krishna is the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, and Lord is the benefactor of all planets, all demigods, and he's the well-wisher of all living entities. And if he knows that, then he can attain peace from the pranks of this material miseries. So that's the sense of Krishna conscious. And how we can do it, that we have to spiritualize our activities. We have to become Krishna conscious. And we have to become Krishna conscious, not on the platform of body, because bodily platform, we will get entangled again. So that's why we don't do Ketu Dharma, means do business with the Lord, with the, like our devotional service shouldn't be mixed with some material motivated. We have to do a pure devotional service to Krishna. So, like many devotees are doing it, I mean, that Krishna consciousness, like we have to be very thankful to Srila Prabhupada that he has made it such a big house, and not only that, he has trained all the devotees in such a way so that they can become Krishna conscious. They can work on spiritual platform. They can establish like eternal religion, Sanatana Dharma, which is based on spirit soul, not on the material body. Because based on the material body, we have many other dharmas. We have Christianity, we have Islamic faith. We have so many other faiths, So mostly you have to rise above all these, and you have to establish a faith which is based on soul concept. And once you will see that you're established on the soul concept, then all other material miseries and activities related to that bodily concept like diminish. Then on spiritual soul level, there is no discrimination. So that you see everyone equal, in Bhagavad Gita, I believe it's 2.13, it says, I'm forgetting the shloka, let me look at it. 2.13, it is, actually Bhagavad Gita starts from there, and Lord says, Dehinim asmani yatha dehe kumaram yovanam jara tatha deham tar praptir dhiras tatrana mohete. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth and to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by this change. So that the soul passes into another body. So the main, our focus is not the body, because Krishna has established here already that this body was there, and in the beginning there was no body, so there was unmanifested state. In the middle, this body was there, and then this body is gone, and then there is no other body. And everyone who is born is sure to die. So that's the principle of like Krishna's, like in this material life. That's what happens. So that's why we have to make sure that we are always on the spiritual platform. So now, how to spiritualize your activities? Devotees are doing it very nicely, because we have senses, like in material body, we do have senses, and that's pertain to our activities. That's for where we do the activities. And these are active senses, Now, what are the active senses? Active senses are eyes, nose, mouth, ear, legs, hand, So these are our active senses, Then there's subtle senses, the mind is there, intelligence there, the ego is there, which helps us utilizing this active senses to do things, So all we have to do is engage these senses in the service of the Lord. I mean, that's what's called dovetailing, Though Krishna says in material body, you shouldn't lament, it will go away. But since we have this material body, we must utilize it in such a way so that we don't get another body, as per the law of mind. So we must engage our senses in serving the Lord. Otherwise, they will be attracted to sense gratification, So eyes, we must engage in seeing the Vigraha of the Lord, or reading scriptures, or seeing holy places, and like that, So we have choice, We can do that. So if we dovetail it in such a way that we have nice deities at home, we are worshiping them, so our eyes are seeing those deities, So we are engaging our active senses in the service of the Lord, and all our activities are becoming spiritualized. And once they are spiritualized, remember that CD which had a lot of impressions, those impressions are being now cleaned. See? So by utilizing your senses, you're cleaning your heart, you're cleaning your senses, in that way, And mind is the center, So all these senses are controlled by mind, The legs, other senses, legs, So you walk to visiting temple, for example, or going to holy place and doing all that, rather than walking to some nonsensical place and enjoying yourself, getting drunk or whatever. So your legs can walk to the places where you can connect with Krishna. You can go to temple. You can go to your devotee friends and associate with them. So that way you engage your legs. Same thing, you can engage your hands, and that you can also engage in the service of the Lord. You can make garlands, you can do cooking, you can do cleaning. So like that, you can help that. Now, inversely, if you don't want to do that, you can be using those hands to beat somebody or do, so if you're in mode of ignorance, you can be doing so many nonsensical things also. So we have to dovetail it, same thing with the tongue. We can sing bhajans, kirtan, japa, we can do all these. And also tongue has two functions. One is the speech and the other is the taste, So you can relish prashadam also, so that will clean also. So through these senses, what we are doing, we are cleaning ourselves. Okay. Now, other thing is the nose. Nose, you're smelling flowers, all that. You can be offering these nice fragrant flowers to the deities or tulsi. Like tulsi was smelled by 4 Kumaras, So they got attracted to the Lord, So that's how they were delivered again, So that's dovetailing your senses, Now ears, instead of prajalpa hearing or doing all kinds of nonsensical hearing, which pollutes your senses and ultimately your CD, might as well use your ears to hear the glories of the Lord, and bhajans and kirtan and utilize it in doing kirtan and all that, And so we can all do that, So that's the way of cleaning our self, This body is temporary, yes, but since we are in the middle, now Arjuna can understand, okay, there was nothing, middle there is, and there is nothing, we got it, But in the middle stage is very long and how we should utilize it, and that is in the service of the Lord, Now, if you look at it, Haridas, like he engaged his senses so nicely, even allurement of the prostitute, he overcame it very easily. So once your senses are properly engaged, then your mind, your intelligence is very sharp. Krishna helps you. Your intelligence doesn't become polluted. Then when the pure intelligence is there, then you can discriminate even from many calamities, in this material world, because Krishna is sitting in your heart. He gives you intelligence to do the proper things, Now, Hanumanji is there. He engaged very nicely. He engaged in the service of the Lord. He at the same time he was very humble, very humble. So those are the qualities you will get once you're fully engaged in Krishna service. Now, Arjuna fought a war. War is not easy to be fought. Not like that, Arjuna was bewildered. He gave up almost. Then Krishna rose him. He gained his senses after he got all the knowledge from Krishna, and he accepted him as a guru. And then he followed him. And Arjuna is a very, very advanced devotee. He's just playing a role here, but still, he's a good example for us to follow, that always surrender to the Lord. So basically, it's almost getting 1 hour, so I will just try to wrap it up rather than go any further. So in order to be peaceful and happy, so we must realize, no matter how this material body is temporary or whatever it is, since we have it now, and we know for sure it won't be there in future. That's what Krishna is saying, we shouldn't lament. But he's talking about that, So we are saying that since you have the body at the moment, so you must utilize it properly in the service of Krishna. So we must control our senses. So we have to become Krishna conscious. So that's the gist of, or that's the dharma of the spiritual soul. So we must follow it through. We shouldn't be following the dharma of the body, but the dharma of the soul. So we have to do this bhakti yoga. So we have to do that, and we have to control our senses, sense gratification. We have to dovetail our all material activities in the service of Krishna. We have to live simply. We have to be humble. We have to be satisfied with what Lord provides, and we have to chant the glories of the Lord and be happy all the time. And in Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has made it very simple. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Kevalam, Kalo Nasteve, 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 Gati Anavita. So we have to chant, get involved in the service of the Lord, and if we do that, then our life can be successful. Then this material body is successful, and our spiritual life is successful. Then our whole coming of here is successful. So I will stop here. Hare Krishna. So if you have any questions, comments, so I'm willing to.
Sir, may I ask you a question, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhu, thank you for this nice class, Prabhu. Prabhu, one thing in the current context, since we are not having the opportunity of conventional being devotees together and depending on these online classes or
Prabhu, I can't hear you properly. Can you speak louder? No, I'm not able to. Can you repeat it, please? What were you asking?
Yeah. Prabhu, what I was asking, Prabhu, in the current context where we are not getting the opportunity of like congregational programs and all these things, where physically we meet devotees, only our limited to like online classes and all these things. Under this situation, what is the best way to keep you encouraged for the devotional services? Means, how should we? You are getting my question, Prabhu?
Yeah. I got the gist of it. Basically, you're saying in this COVID situation when you're alone and how to be engaged in the service. Is that correct?
In essence, yes.
Yeah. Okay. See, Prabhu, main thing is I just want to say we came all alone, right? And we will go alone, all alone, right? So the concept of being alone, when you're very advanced, you want to be alone. Means if you're in meditative state, if you're always in Krishna conscious, that's the high stage, But in this middle stage, we have to have association. Now, association could be physical, means like you're present like in a temple, or it could be electronic. But right now, all the association is electronic, means through electronic means, So you can be talking to devotees, which is on telephone or a video chat, or other association is with your books. I mean, all this literature we have, Srila Prabhupada has given us. So reading books is very important. First, association of devotees, association of the books, and then third you can have is the association of your deities, right? So if you have deities at home, even if you don't have, for example, you can take a picture of Krishna from even Bhagavad Gita or anywhere, you can concentrate your activities around that picture, You can offer bhoga, you can, so you're still dovetailing your activities, like you're engaging in eyes in the service of Krishna, you're offering food, then you are getting prashadam, so that's cleaning yourself. You're chanting, that's cleaning yourself. So what I'm saying is, I know it's difficult in this COVID situation, but still you can do little things. You can have Krishna picture, you can do activity with yourself if you're alone, or with your wife or kids. So that way you're just dovetailing. I mean, you're trying to be. I mean, there are classes, So that's also association. So you're progressing. So don't worry. I mean, this situation is not permanent. This is temporary. I mean, for maybe 1 year or so. And in fact, it's very good opportunity to be reading scriptures, and trying to do your sadhana, So, and chanting. So for chanting, you can be alone. You can put Srila Prabhupada's take. So that way you and get encouragement from devotees, so they will help you out. So this will help slowly. It takes a bit of practice, but it's doable. So is that okay, Prabhu?
Prabhu, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Any other question, Prabhu? I guess I didn't hear anything. So
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you. Very nice class. After a long time, we are hearing you.
yes, Prabhu.
Great pleasure to have you. It's great. Thank you very much.
So thank you for the opportunity, Prabhu. Thank you. I thank you.
Devotees, actually, Hare Krishna Prabhuji and Mataji. Now, every Friday, we will be having this session. And so I think today I had to call people and get to actually to come to this program. It's not that every Friday we will be having this program. So please get connected. Yeah, please get connected every time at 9 o'clock, 9:45. The program of the class will start. So I'll request all devotees to join. And today we have a special program at 4:30 Abu Dhabi time. Swayam Prabhu will be giving a class on Balram Jayanti. He's giving it in Rajkot. So he has requested all the devotees, please join, so that I've already sent the link. So please look at your Panaso Mahotsav so that you can see the link. And it is on Zoom. So please connect yourself at 4:30 and hear the Balram Jayanti class given by His Grace Swayam Smriti Prabhuji. Thank you very much. We'll keep on updating. Yesterday we have sent you a link for devotees who want to show their programs, they want to show their deities. They can connect. We have sent a Google form where we can give you who want to participate through Kirtan or shloka recitation, deity, they can show their deities on the altar, so that this we can relate. It will start from morning 10 o'clock on 12th is the Janmashtami. So we can relay all those programs from 10 to 4 o'clock, and then 7:30 we will have the connection with Radha Shyam Sundar Abhishekam Kirtan. So it is a continuous whole day program. So I will request all the devotees be attentive and be actually connect yourself. Do not stay, just like our Chennai Prabhu or Chaitanya Adhikari Prabhu has given a saying that we are losing connections because we don't have the connections are more actually, to be frank. Physical connection is not there, but online connections are so much that there are plenty of people who can join, and from everywhere, all over the world, we are getting connected. So you have to be, only thing is you have to focus on the basically the messages which we are sending, so that you can always get connected. It's always the Vani is there. You may not have a Vapu Seva, but Vani Seva is there already. So I request all the devotees to once again to join all the sessions whenever we are sending messages. Please look at it, join the programs. Thank you very much. I don't anything, anybody has any doubt or anything? And yeah,
Hare
sorry.
Krishna.
Hare
Hari
Krishna.
Bol.